welcome to our students, their families, friends, and our esteemed guests. The processional of the spring commencement ceremony at Washington State University Everett will now begin. We proudly salute all WSU graduates throughout the system. Please rise and welcome the WSU Everett class of 2026. Students carrying gonfalons today are chosen by their respective colleges for their high academic achievement, dedication, and inspiration to their graduating class. Stephanie Mahar, representing the College of Education, Sport, and Human Sciences. Scott Bohal, representing the Edward R. Murrow College of Communication. James Bierns, representing the College of Arts and Sciences. Cameron Levinas, representing the Carson College of Business. Yamrat Ashagre, representing the College of Nursing. Heather McCartney, representing the Voidland College of Engineering and Architecture. Now, please welcome WSU Everett faculty and staff. Please welcome the platform party. Damian Sano, Senior Associate Vice President of Finance and Operations, WSU statewide campuses. Angela Jones, Keynote Speaker and Director, Washington State and U.S. Charters, Gates Foundation. Lisa Hurd, Vice President of the WSU Alumni Association. Dr. Kate McAteer, Associate Vice President and Vice Provost of Academic and Student Affairs, WSU statewide campuses. Dr. Bruce Pinkleton, Dean, Edward R. Murrow College of Communication. Rafia Shakil, Vice President of the Associated Students of WSU Everett. Dr. Jacob Murray, WSU Everett Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. Carrie Davidson, Vice President of Institutional Affairs and Chief Administrative Officer. Dr. Betsy Cantwell, President, Washington State University System. Dr. Sandra Haynes, Executive Vice President for WSU statewide campuses. And in our VIP section, we would like to welcome Cassie Franklin, Mayor of the City of Everett. Please remain standing for the presentation of the colors by the Marysville Junior ROTC Color Guard, followed by our national anthem, led by Jesse Lorenz.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Forward. March.
Please be seated. To present the Native American Land Acknowledgement, please welcome Dr. Joe Gladstone.
Washington State University acknowledges that its locations statewide are on the homelands of Native peoples who have lived in this region from time immemorial. There are 37 federally recognized tribes that historically shared their traditional homelands and waterways in what is now Washington State. Of these, 29 are federally recognized tribes in Washington, with the remaining tribes in Idaho, Montana, and Oregon, some of which represent multiple tribes and bands. The university expresses its deepest respect and gratitude towards these original and current caretakers of the region. As an academic community, we acknowledge our responsibility to establish and maintain relationships with these tribes and Native peoples in support of tribal sovereignty and the inclusion of their voices in teaching, research, and programming. Washington State University established the Office of Tribal Relations and Native American Programs to guide us in our relationships with tribes and service to Native American students and communities. We also pledge that these relationships will consist of mutual trust, respect, and reciprocity. Kokit.
Good afternoon, and welcome degree candidates, faculty, staff, family, friends, and distinguished guests. It is my honor to convene the WSU Everett's 2026 Commencement Ceremony. Commencement is a very special occasion. For faculty and staff, it is a time to salute the achievements of our graduates. For families and friends of the graduates, it is a time of joy, celebration, and pride. For the graduates, commencement marks the attainment of a goal and the transition to another phase of life. Graduates, this is your day. Celebrate and enjoy. Today we are conferring 75 degrees. Included in our commencement ceremony today are students from WSU Global, WSU Pullman, and WSU Vancouver. Thank you for joining us here today. We are glad that you are here. We are very proud of the class of 2026. Arriving at this point has required sacrifice, dedication, and commitment. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the graduates for their accomplishments. They have done more than just go to class, and we would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge their resiliency, determination, and ability to achieve their dreams. Will any graduates who have served in the armed forces please stand? You may be seated. Stand if you are graduating with honors. You may be seated. Stand if you are awarded a scholarship at any point in your education. Stand if you are the first in your family to attend college. Stand if you are raising or helping to raise children. Stand if you worked while earning your degree. Stand if you plan to earn a master or doctoral degree. Stand if you plan to stay in Everett after graduation. And finally, please stand if you are as proud of your accomplishments as I am. Faculty, staff, family, friends, and honored guests, the class of 2026. It is my honor to introduce our first speaker of the afternoon, Washington State University's 12th president, Dr. Betsy Cantwell. As president, Dr. Cantwell leads WSU at a time of momentum and opportunity, championing student success, expanded access to education across the state, and strengthening the university's impact on communities like Everett and beyond. She is the first woman to serve as WSU president in the university's 135-year history. And she is deeply committed to ensuring that every WSU graduate is prepared to lead, innovate, and make a difference. Dr. Cantwell brings extensive experience in higher education and research leadership, and a strong belief in the power of public universities to transform lives, something that is reflected in the achievements we celebrate today. Please join me in welcoming Betsy Cantwell, President of WSU.
The bottom notebook has bigger letters than the top one, so maybe I need that one. Thank you, everyone, for allowing me to come here, and good afternoon. I want to do a really quick start before I actually address our students by taking a moment to honor Regent Sam Hunt, who passed recently, because his commitment to public service and to WSU were both astounding. And I will just say to our students in particular, look him up. He was a remarkable man, and what he did was exemplify public service. And I hope all of you have a chance to think about what his life might mean in terms of what you could do for public service. It's a privilege to be here with you at WSU Everett. It is my intention to be here every year to honor our students, as I will do at every one of our locations every year. And I hope that demonstrates my respect for all of you. And I am looking at our students now, as well as our community. But graduates, I want to be direct with you. You are not graduating into a particularly stable world. I think you know that, but I think it's important to acknowledge it. You're walking into a moment of absolutely historical disruption. You'll hear it described in many ways. This is historical disruption. Technological, economic, social, political, all of it. Many of the rules are coming undone. This is not a time to be afraid. It's a time to act and to build, because the new rules will be up to you. What I really want you to remember is that this is exactly why you will do well. What you have learned here isn't just content. You have learned how to deal with pressure. You have learned how to adapt when plans fall apart. You have learned how to keep moving when you don't have all the answers. And I assure you, all of us, no matter how far along we are in our lives and our careers and our families, that is true for all of us. This is the skill set, however, that wins right now. It's the skill set of being able to move forward even when you don't have all the answers, you don't know everything, and by far, everything is not settled. There is no settled position for things to come into. Hopefully, we've given you the core, then, of what a land-grant university is. We are a public service university, and what we hope to give you as you leave us is a sense of what public service actually means. That's real work, it's real problems, it's real impact. Effort and engagement is as important right now as being right. So don't forget that. Whether you plan to or not, many of you did not plan this, but you will become the next generation of leaders. Why you? Why now? I think what's going to happen is you're going to get out in the world, and very quickly you will realize that nobody has this figured out right now. This moment is one where nobody's got it figured out. As soon as that happens, you actually have a choice. I believe you are prepared for that choice. At that moment, you can sit back and wait to be told what to do, and I don't mean to denigrate that. You can wait and watch and take action later, or you can step forward and start shaping what happens next, and you can do that quickly. I encourage you to be the one that steps forward. That's this moment. So look around you for a sec, all around the room. Mostly these people next to you, you all did this together. You don't need a long list from me of who to acknowledge. You know who they are, you know who showed up for you, but I do really want to do the following. I want to call out a whole host of people and then give them a round of applause at the end. All the parents, all the grandparents, the great-grandparents, we maybe even have great-great-grandparents in this room, all the children of graduates, all the friends, the spouses, the partners, the extended family. We see all of you, and we celebrate your willingness to come here for your person and be the family that gets them where they're going. I will tell all of you, do the same in return to them, because they're going to need it too. So let's give a round of applause for everyone who got us here. I would ask for perhaps a separate round of applause for all the WSU folks who put all the faculty and the staff and the administrative personnel who put themselves out there to get you where you are. If we could give them a round of applause. Thank you. The last thing I'm going to ask is that you don't lose this place. Place is really material for Cougs, it turns out. It's not just where you got a degree. It's the place that put you to work on real things that really matter. So find your way back to this community, find your way to any place where WSU Cougs gather, find your way back home. And finally, I want you to remember, you don't need a clear path to start moving. You don't need a clear path to move forward. You do need the willingness to start. I believe and hope that that's what we've given you, is step 1. Step 2, step 3. That's exactly how the future will get built, and it will get built by you. So we are all enormously proud of you. Get out there and build that future. Go Cougs!
It is now my honor to present our student speaker. As we celebrate what our graduates have accomplished, we also recognize the commitment, perseverance, and growth that define their time at WSU Everett. Our students do more than earn degrees. They contribute to their campus, lead with purpose, and shape the communities they are a part of, both here and beyond. Our student speaker today exemplifies that spirit. Rafia Shaquille will graduate today from the Carson College of Business and is a Boeing Scholar. During her time here, she has served as Vice President of the Associated Students of WSU Everett, working alongside campus leaders to strengthen student advocacy and deepen community impact. Please join me in welcoming Rafia Shaquille.
Thank you, Dr. Haynes. Before I begin, I want to dedicate this speech to my best friend, Melissa Rouse, who is no longer with me. She was also a Coug and would have been graduating with me, so this degree isn't just for me, but for us. 2 years ago, I took my first step onto campus, and I told myself, I'm only here to get my degree and leave. And now, I'm looking out at all of you, people that I'm proud to call my fellow Cougs, my friends, and my community. I used to think that being a small campus was our biggest weak point, but in actuality, it was our biggest strength. Because here, you're not just another face in the crowd, you're known. Your ideas are heard, your impact is felt, and whether we realized it at the time or not, we were building something bigger than just our resumes and our GPAs. We were building relationships, confidence, and a sense of belonging that will follow us far beyond this campus. And maybe that's the biggest lesson we're taking with us today. That success isn't just about where you end up, but who you become along the way and who you bring with you. Standing here now, I realized I didn't just get a degree, I found a community that I didn't know I needed. And the truth is that didn't happen by accident. This cultivation happened in the small moments, standing in front of the Crimson Cafe when someone sat next to you and a stranger turned to a friend. The group projects that taught us more about people than the assignment itself. The conversations with professors who challenged us to think bigger and to think outside the box. And the opportunities that pushed us far out of our comfort zones. This campus gave us more than an education. It gave us a platform, a place where we were encouraged to speak up and take risks, even when we weren't completely ready. And for me, that meant stepping into student government, something I didn't originally plan to do. But this campus had a way of pulling me in and showing me that I had more to offer. Through student government, I had the opportunity to build everlasting connections and represent a student body that I wholeheartedly care about. And in doing so, I learned that leadership isn't just about having all the answers. It's about showing up, listening, and being willing to serve something bigger than yourself. But more importantly, it showed me that this campus is only as strong as the people that are in it and the joint effort that we all put to build this community. By stepping up to be a club leader, showing up to on-campus events, or even just sticking around after class, we all contributed to creating something that will continue to flourish after we leave. And now we're stepping into another chapter, new jobs, big decisions, a chapter where the path isn't clearly laid out for us anymore. And if there's one thing this experience has taught us, it's that not having everything figured out isn't a weakness, it's an opportunity. Because the future we're walking into isn't one where everything is certain or predictable. It's one that will challenge us, push us, and ask us to grow in ways we can't fully see yet. But if we've learned anything here, it's that we're capable of figuring it out. And as we leave here today, we won't be going in the same direction. Some of us will be stepping into a new job, some of us are still figuring things out. But regardless, this isn't the end of the journey, it's proof that we're built for what's next. Because we didn't just make it through, we made something of it. And if this experience has taught us anything, it's that impact doesn't come from the size of the place you're in. It comes from the effort you put into it and the people you choose to lift along the way. 2 years ago, I came here planning to leave quickly, but now I'm leaving wishing I had more time. We may have started here as individuals, but we're leaving with something greater, each other. A group of people ready to step into the unknown and shape the future ahead of us. So as we take our next steps, let's not just go out into the world, but let's make it better together. Congratulations, class of 2026, and go Cougs! Thank you. As we reflect on our journeys and the community that has supported us along the way, it's fitting that we now hear from someone whose leadership and service and impact has helped shape opportunities for so many in the region. It is a privilege to introduce our keynote speaker today, a leader whose life and legacy reflect the values of dedication, vision, and commitment that we celebrate at Commencement. Please join me in offering a very warm welcome to our 2026 Commencement keynote speaker, Angela Jones.
Life is a journey, not a destination. There are no mistakes, just chances we've taken. Lay down your regrets. All we have is now. And I'm so happy to be here right now celebrating with all of you, our families, friends, and especially our graduates. As noted, my name is Angela Jones. I am a proud WSU graduate, number 973-64039. That number was given to me in 1989, and I still have my first ID card. It was a $10 cost to replace it, so just know I took good care of it. I'm a proud Snohomish County kid. I went to Mount Lake Terrace High School, and like you, I took this journey that took me through Washington State University. It was the only institution I applied to, was so glad to be accepted. And after I graduated, life gave me a bit of a curvy road. I won't go into all the full details there, but that curvy road with all its challenges, joys, and tears led me to the role that I have today, and I have the pleasure of being able to be one of the United States leaders of the Gates Foundation, and I lead all investments for Bill Gates in Washington State in education, as well as a national portfolio with the United States public charter school system. It's a dream job to spend somebody else's money, but that's not what I want to talk about today. Today, what I want to talk about is two things I've learned along this journey. Because I lead a $500 million portfolio now, but there's been moments where my car has been repossessed. There's been moments where, or almost repossessed, I learned how to hide it. That's also not what this speech is about. Where the heat's been shut off, and I learned a few things about myself. I learned that I needed to, number one, know my purpose. And so graduates, encourage you to know your purpose. And number two, find your stride. I'll talk a little bit more about the stride, but as I was reading through my comments, I was like, that's hilarious that I'm now in a pink cast on this stage. My stride's a little challenged, but still big. Let's start with number one, though, identify your purpose. I have always had a desire to transform the world. When I was about 5 years old, I remember my father telling me, my father, who, by the way, is in the back there still cheering me on. This is not even my graduation, and he's here, and my mother is here. But my father said, each generation must do better than the one that came before it. Each generation must do better than the one that came before it. With a family that used education to rise out of abject poverty, my father from the segregated South in Arkansas, my mother from the rural Philippines, education was the lever we pulled over and over. So I really took what he said to heart. But a part of that also meant, while we were pulling the lever, I also had a responsibility to set the stage for others coming after me. My mantra is that I want to be a good ancestor. So the decisions I make today will determine what they say about Angela Jones 100 years from now. Now, I know I won't live to be 154, but it just sounded really good in my speech. But someone once said to me, Angela, your ancestors loved you before you were born. And that really hit me in the heart and forced me to reflect on the ripple effect that I'm having in this world. It helped me sharpen my view of what my purpose is on this earth. So that's the lens at which I view the world, you know, when I wake up every day and make decisions. So much so that I wrote a book called The Queen Code, Guide to Your Personal Strategic Plan. That is not a shameless plug. It's part of the speech. My hope, though, that on this day-to-day, you don't just hear like, wah, 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 blah, 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 blah. But you actually take in a nugget of wisdom because, as President Cantwell said, there's historical disruption going on right now. This is a really tough time in the world, and the world will take every ounce of your energy if you let it. So if you're not clear on what fuels your soul and what drives you, you're going to waste precious time that you can't get back. Time once spent cannot be taken back. You know, when I was 16, I wrote my first plan, my first strategic plan about purpose. It's in this bag because it's old. I already told you I'm 54. Y'all can do the math. But I wrote in each square something I wanted. Get married, have a baby, get my degree, get my law degree, got the law degree. Buy the Jaguar, got the Jaguar. It took me until I was 48, but I got the Jaguar. But I'd written it, and I keep it with me because 16-year-old Angela was on to something. I now write down every year, like what do I hope to accomplish? If I want to be a good ancestor and education is important to me, what am I doing? So I write it down. And every New Year's Eve, I reflect on it. How did you do this year? What are you going to do better? There's other goals like health goals, relationship goals. But if you're not clear on your purpose, if you don't have a tool, you don't have to use the way I do it, but what's the way you stay anchored in your purpose? You know, my nudge for you is to take the time to find that's important. It's not enough to get the degree. The degree is one tool. It's a big deal. It's a milestone. Now what? What are you going to do with it? Also, a moment for the parents and families that are here. You know, it's about what these graduates want as individuals. Oftentimes, it's challenging when family wants something for you. But each one of these graduates is unique. Each one of you has a unique contribution to give. So what is the unique contribution you're going to do on this earth? You know, all due respect to the families, but not what your parents said you're going to do, not what your partner or your spouse or whoever said you're going to do, not what social media says you're going to do. What's your unique contribution? And this leads me to point number 2. And I swear there's only 2 points. Find your stride. I often say, I figured out over time, what others see as a leap is just my stride. What others see as a leap is just my stride. It's how I move. There's so many people who are like, you are in a non-retention bearing cast, and you said yes to speaking at commencement. Because this is part of my purpose. You all are important. Education is still part of my purpose. So yes, I don't go out much, but when I do, it's to a WSU commencement, go Cougs. But that's the tape that plays in my head, and here's why. We don't need another cookie cutter graduate. We need your unique perspective. We need your innovation. You may have the solution to a problem we've been trying to solve for decades. You may invent something we didn't even know we needed. Like somebody invented a spoon, right? We didn't know we needed a spoon. Then we had a spoon. Now we need a spoon. Now we can't have my soup without a spoon, right? Post-it notes. I was alive when the internet was created, guys. Right? Somebody created it. I thought it was dumb when it was launched, and now I'm obsessed. And now here we have AI. But someone made all these things up. Someone like you who was sitting in a seat in a cap and gown, or somebody somewhere, Bill Gates in his garage, they created something. Someone made it up. Someone had the courage to do something different. And the reason I say find your stride is because throughout my journey, not everyone has understood or agreed with the choices and how I moved, and I'm okay with that. There are times in my life where I'm like, I am my number one hype squad. I'm good with that. Now, I will say there's a fine line between self-belief and arrogance, so walk the line. But I'll give you an example. I made the decision to go to law school at the age of 41. That's why I get to wear this cool robe. Folks didn't understand it. They were like, why would you leave a 6-figure job? Why are you going to law school? You are a newly single mom. You're newly divorced. You're in a position of power at your organization. Why would you leave? Some people are actually mad at me for quitting my job, but I knew I needed something. I had a calling to go to law school. I leaned on my faith. So I've had to tell myself also along the journey, whether it was my first job as a teacher, was my first role as a CEO, I do not make room for the doubt others try to impose upon me. Find your stride and do not make room for the doubt others try to impose upon you. Their fears are not your burden to hold. The fears others have about the unknown you may be stepping into is not your burden to hold. So, final story time. When I left my CEO role 5 years ago to go to the Gates Foundation, there was a headline that read, Gates Foundation poached Washington STEM CEO. I wasn't poached. That headline still makes me mad. But I wasn't poached. I moved to the Gates Foundation role with purpose. However, I knew everyone wouldn't understand how I moved. As a U.S. leader of the foundation, I manage a lot of money, and I make a lot of money. So they also don't understand this next move. I announced in February I am now ready to leave the Gates Foundation. I don't have a new job. Sorry, Mom and Dad, I'll be all right. I just know that my season is up because I'm in tune with my purpose and what I need to do right now when we have challenging times in education, and I want to work closer with community. And again, people are upset at my decision to leave, and I'm okay with that because I move differently. So I want to close today with a reminder as you head into the world. Know your purpose. Who are you? What's important to you? What's the mark you want to leave on this world, and especially in the times President Cantwell just outlined? Find your stride. You can respect the wisdom of those who came before you and still decide how you will walk. And finally, I want to invite you to join me, all of you in this room, to join me in being a good ancestor. So congratulations, class of 2026, and go Cougs.
A lot of pages to flip through here. There we go. Thank you, Angela, for reminding us that life is not a destination but a journey, and that the paths we take shape far more than any single title or role. Your message challenges us to pause, reflect, and live with intention. As we celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2026, may we take your words with us, to know our purpose, to trust our stride even when others don't understand it, and to move through the world with courage and clarity. And may we all strive to be good ancestors, making choices today that open doors, create opportunity, and leave a lasting impact for those who follow. Thank you for sharing your journey with us and for inspiring ours. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the presentation of degrees. Will our doctoral degree candidate please stand? Dr. Haynes, this doctoral candidate has fulfilled the requirements prescribed by the faculty of Washington State University. I recommend she be awarded her degree.
Upon recommendation of the faculty and by authority of the Board of Regents and the statutes of the State of Washington, I hereby confer upon you the degree for which you have been recommended with all of its privileges and obligations. Congratulations.
Will our doctoral candidate from the College of Education, Sport, and Human Services please come forward? Stephanie Elaine Mahar.
Will our master's degree candidate please stand? Dr. Haynes, this master's degree candidate has fulfilled the requirements prescribed by the faculty of Washington State University. I recommend she be awarded her degree.
Upon recommendation of the faculty and by authority of the Board of Regents and the statutes of the State of Washington, I hereby confer upon you the degree for which you have been recommended, with all of its privileges and obligations. Congratulations.
Will our master's candidate from the Edward R. Murrow College of Communication please come forward? Victoria Martinez Garcia.
The last one, I swear. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees please stand? Dr. Haynes, these baccalaureate degree candidates have fulfilled the requirements prescribed by the faculty of Washington State University. I recommend they be awarded their degrees.
Upon recommendation of the faculty and by authority of the Board of Regents and the statutes of the State of Washington, I hereby confer upon each of you who fulfills its requirements the degree for which you have been recommended with all of its privileges and obligations. Congratulations.
Will the baccalaureate candidates from the College of Arts and Sciences please come forward? Scott Anthony Bohall. Daniela Escobar Fuentes.
Sandra.
Preston Isaac Lawrence. Abdu Rahman Samora. Will the baccalaureate candidates from the Edward R. Murrow College of Communication please come forward? Jordan Patricia Acey. Jasmine Sarah Contreras Lewis. Noah Otis Hickman. Samuel Lee Cooley. Kendall Borland. James Burns. Himanat Wildahana. Justine Kaur Kosa. Giovanna Occhialini. Will the baccalaureate candidates from the Carson College of Business please come forward? Prasanta Priya. Kaylee Betarch. Hazeline Estrada Floranda. Cameron James Lovinus. Alexis Jenica Luprepa. Constanza Maria Urita. Ty Moltz. Rafia Shaquille. Will the baccalaureate candidates from the Voidland College of Engineering and Architecture please stand and come forward? Heather Marie McCartney. Isaac Anthony Morris. Lamar Robert Eastland. Jonte Isaiah Giles. Yulia Nikolaevna Fedorchenko. Catherine Ann Miller. Jordan Will Richards. Estanislao Zavala Montalvo. Non Nguyen. Donovan Matthew Berger. Nolan Brown. Jason Iwa. Able Dospayev. Tufik Majdalani. Kwan Yu Matt Chen. JD Faber. Kobe Ponte Vonsa. Austin Don Harris. Christian Moore. Obi Malik. Andrew Antoli Bogush. Raiden Liam Hendricks. Vadim Vasilyevich Onshak. Joshua Rubin Pizania. Timothy Charles Marlett. Marcus Lowe Osborne. Abdul Qadir Al-Azadi. Will the baccalaureate candidates from the College of Nursing please come forward? Yamrat Ashagre.
Heel back to lead the undergraduates in the traditional turning of the tassel.
Undergraduates, please stand. College graduates wear their tassels on the left side of their caps. So today, we have earned that milestone. So together, we signal our new status as graduates by moving our tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations to you all.
You may be seated. Lisa Hurd represents our Alumni Association and is here to welcome our newest alumni.
Congratulations to the graduating class of 2026. It is my honor to welcome all of you guys to the Cougar alumni family as the WSU Alumni Association current Vice President and President-elect for next year. So today, you officially join a network of nearly 250,000 strong. From this moment on, being a Coug connects you to the community that expands far beyond this campus. As you step into what comes next, it is important to recognize that this transition can feel a little uncertain. Some of you may already have jobs or places in plan, while others are still figuring it out. Wherever you are, that is okay. And more importantly, you are not doing it alone. The WSU Alumni Association is here as a resource, a support system, and a network ready to help you navigate your next steps. One of the most valuable things you can gain today is that access to that network. There are Cougs in the cities you want to move to, in the industries you want to work in, and especially here in Western Washington, that network is strong, active, and ready to connect. Through tools like Cougs Connect, you can reach out, build relationships, and create opportunities. It is free to use and designed to help you take those first steps after graduation. In addition, the Alumni Association has 52 chapters and clubs across the country, both geographic and affinity-based, making it easy for you to stay connected wherever you are. Whether you stay in this region or move somewhere new, there are Cougs ready to welcome you in. Staying involved is simple. Alumni events and programs are designed to bring people together, to build relationships, and to create opportunities without barriers. They are a chance to show up, meet people, and take that next step. The Alumni Association exists to support you, especially as recent graduates. This network is here to help you grow both personally and professionally. Cougs helping Cougs, that is what we do. Once again, congratulations. We are proud of you, we are excited for you, and we are here for you. Welcome to the Cougar alumni family, and go Cougs!
Thank you all for being a part of the WSU Everett commencement ceremony. I'd like to particularly thank the WSU Everett staff and Conference Center staff who have made this ceremony possible. And to our graduates, we are especially grateful you chose to pursue your education with us. We will continue to follow your accomplishments with pride, and we want you to know that you will always be a part of Washington State University. Graduates, please stand. Guests, please stand and remain standing at your seats until the recessional ends and all graduates have left the ballroom. Once again, thank you, congratulations, and one more big round of applause for the class of 2026.